Oh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Hotline Fling. My name is Izzy Ivanetti.
And I am Connor Maroney. How you doing, Iz?
I'm doing good. A little bit hung.
We've both had big fucking fuck off weekends.
Oh,
I sound like I've been eating gravel, so apologise to our Spotify listeners, to our YouTube listeners. Fucking, you're welcome. I'm looking good.
Oh, I actually forgot to say this to you, but I didn't actually realize people were listening to this podcast.
Yeah, people fucking get around it.
I shit you not for because I feel like the first 5 episodes we did, I was going through my little like turtle phase where I wasn't going out and socializing, and then I've been seeing people and getting messages from people, and people are actually listening. And I'm really shocked.
Dude, people get the fuck around it.
Yeah, which is sick.
We get to have these conversations that people don't really fucking want to have most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's good. Guys as well are fucking talking a bit more, which is nice to see. That was the whole aim from my end of things, is to kind of get dudes speaking about their sexual lives a bit more openly and not as timid and all the fucking did you fuck her statements, you know? Open up, fellas.
Get people more confident, making some moves. But even it's been pretty funny because there's been people that I've met honestly once or twice, and then they're like, I've listened to your podcast, and I'm like, oh, that's such a vulnerable space for me because we're here so intimately talking, and I'm like, oh, but I guess that's what it is. So
if anything, it's fucking ruining my love life a bit.
It is ruining my love life as well. I feel
everyone thinks I'm fucking. Everyone thinks I'm Justin Bieber or some shit, and I'm ruining everything in Brisbane. I wish.
I should have said to you, I'm getting random messages all the time, for relationship advice or advices about exes and stuff. I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about relationships. Our fucking dude,
this is our company.
No, but our company is called Hotline Fling, home of shit relationship advice. We are not qualified, and if you've listened to an episode, we give out the worst advice. So we should also give out a disclaimer. I feel every
we give out
episode
some good advice,
being this is shit. I feel like it's a 5 to 10% good advice.
I feel like the five's coming from me. I reckon I'm putting my heart out there.
Yeah, I feel like you give some real stuff. I don't really give anything.
But anyway, this week I wanted to get into something that I feel like everyone fucking goes through every single week, no matter what. It's if you're single, this is definitely a thing.
Yeah, and even what we were talking about before is going back to the essence of this podcast, which is look, there's a girl and a guy on this podcast. We get to talk about issues that usually girl and guys don't usually have, and the awkwardness of being single. For example, how do the opposite sex may infiltrate a group in a social setting?
Yes, because every bloke fucking knows this. If you're sitting there, I'll paint the picture. You're sitting down, you're having a couple of beers with the boys, everyone's single there, they're going, fuck, come on, fellas, tonight's our night. You know what I mean? American Pie vibes. And you're like, fuck yeah, we're getting the Ronnie. We've got to figure out how to do it. And always it starts off with, you see 3 birds at the fucking bar, they're in their tight little circle, they're like fucking rugby players bound together. Unbroken is what they will never be, or what they always are, I'd rather say. But the thing is it is fucking 1, terrifying to fucking even go up there, and 2, it's always met with usually aggression. Because
who the fuck are you?
I'll paint my fucking the reality of what it is sometimes. You go up there, and especially if you're by yourself, it's rough. Let's say there's 3 birds. You go up, I'm looking at you, I'm going over there, I fancy the short little brown haired thing. So I come over, and then there's always the other fucking friend, whatever the guy's like, sweetie, what the fuck are you doing? Can I help you or some shit? And it's I've got nothing to say now. You know what? I actually had something to say to her, but you two are kind of fucking it up for me a little bit here. So I need to know, because you've definitely been in this pack of girls before.
Yeah.
You definitely have.
Yep.
So it's what are the tips and tricks that a guy can do to infiltrate that pack of hyenas?
Yeah, okay, so you're at a bar and you see a group of girls, and there might be a girl you fancy, a few girls you fancy, or maybe one, and you want to...
And make it easier as well. We're not fucking black out at 3 a.m. here, because that's, anyone can fucking fuck up a situation that way. I'm talking 7 p.m., 4 drinks in, we're starting to get into the night.
And I feel great question. I feel off the top of my head, I feel like
Don't say buy him a drink.
no, I actually wasn't going to say that. I was going to say maybe like if you're in a group, maybe combine groups. Obviously, it depends
Yep.
how many people. Like if you're in a big group of guys and there's like maybe 3 girls, just sticking to the same numbers you mentioned, you could be like, "Hey, girls, do you all want to come join our table?" And it's more of like a friendship, inclusive like thing.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
like
like
that.
yeah, it's not like oh hey, I want to buy you a drink. Let's start talking about what we study at uni and do for work. Like
Yeah,
it's more
fuck
like
that.
it's more like come over, let's have a chat as mates. I feel like that's a really nice, fun, inclusive way. I think also sometimes you have to acknowledge when you are hitting someone up at a bar. While it's also really nice because I feel like we're so used to just people sliding in our DMs. Sometimes,
All the time.
all the time, whatever.
Can't bat 'em away.
Can't get away. But like, I also feel like sometimes girls and guys just might want a night with the girls and they might not
For
want
sure.
to be hit on some
Yeah,
nights.
you can go out to
So-
fucking not have to have sex.
Yeah,
I
you can
get
go
that.
out not to always like
But also sometimes there's a difference between fucking 3 chicks digging into palmies at the Caco at
Yeah.
midday on a Sunday. That's like leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah.
But then there's also times where you're out and about and it's
Yeah.
like, let's be real, like a lot of people are out there to fucking
What do I do? Like I see
play some tonsil hockey, you know.
No, I see a chick at Percival's and I want to go say good day. I reckon just honestly go over and be genuine and just say hello. And I guess I know you said don't like ask to buy a drink, but I just feel like it is something so
It's
simple.
an easy soft burner.
It's an
for
easy
sure.
soft burner, but I also feel like let's cut the shit. If a girl's into you, they're gonna be like, yeah, you can buy me a drink. And if the girl's not into you, they're gonna be like, oh no, thank you, I'm with my friends.
Have you ever been the protective girl though and been like, she's okay or some shit like that? Like, do you think girls, this is actually a better way to phrase that, would you say with your girls, because you know them well and they're like your friends to the point that you kind of can already tell a yes and no from their end? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like if like some
Yup.
big fucking oaf comes along and he's not the cup of tea of one of your friends,
Yeah.
you'll answer for her in a way and be like, she's right.
Yeah, like okay, look, I'm going to be honest. I feel like to everything we say and to every bit of advice that we give out, there's always an exception to the rule.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
for
yeah,
example,
yeah,
Connor,
yeah.
like if you see like a really nice girl, like you're quite extroverted. If you went up and you were like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink or whatever?" It might be like really like fun and chill or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've been out at a bar where like these guys are just like really like awkward and like just I don't know, like it was so cringe. And,
Yeah.
like me,
I can
like
imagine.
okay, no, but like
I
we
know
were
some
in,
dudes.
you know some dudes like they're like, oh, we'll just go up and buy them a drink. No, we were at like this like we're at Percival's, and these guys were really awkward, and it was very obvious by the energy this like our group of girls were giving off. We just wanted to be with the girls tonight.
Yeah.
It was very obvious energy, and they couldn't pick up on it. And it was to the point where I was getting quite blunt, and you know, it was to the point I was getting quite blunt and quite pissed off, and you know, I'm not the type of person to be like fuck off, but they were like, "Oh, have you been traveling like anywhere?" And I was
Yeah.
like just fuck off.
Fuck off.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, and I actually lost my shit this one time, and I was like, "Look, I'm so sorry. You seem like such a nice person, but I'm actually here with my friends tonight, and I don't want to have a small talk conversation." And I just said it because it was so annoying. So I think rule of thumb, I think just like read the energy, go up, say g'day, buy a drink, ask them to join the group. And if the energy is not reciprocal, I think just leave it. You know what I
fair.
mean? Yeah. I reckon
Yeah.
that's right. But then what is the other way around? Like what if, you know, I'm in a group of girls and I'm like, oh, there's a group of guys over there. One of them's a bit of a looker. I want to go say hi. Like what's the best way to infiltrate from the other perspective?
Look, I'd say there's 2 avenues. The first one's very similar to you, and I'll give some reasoning for it, is that bringing a friend or another girl to the mix will usually keep the other bloke happy, and then that's it. It's
Ooh.
sort of like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like everyone's all happy, rather than like there's 2 blokes, 1 girl, then like the dudes will usually try to stick together as much as possible.
Yeah.
In saying that
And I
though,
think that's
one thing
reciprocal
I've
as well.
realised a lot lately
Yeah.
is that I don't know whether it's just my mates or if blokes in general are just getting fucking better at it.
Yep.
If a girl comes up and starts talking to me, my mates turn into fucking CIA and they're like, oh, what's that at the bar? Whoop, and they leave like straight away. Like it's like clinical now. Like happens the same way. Like if I'm with my mate and we've had the chat of like, oh, like let's see if we can have a crack tonight at some girls or
Yeah.
whatever. Like as soon as someone comes up to him, I'm getting rid of any damage that can ruin his situation. You know what I mean?
Because you know you're the fucking red flag that's going to ruin that guy
I'm gonna fuck it up for him. Like I might give him a little like warm up to him. Like I'll be like, oh, he's a fucking pilot or some shit, and then like, and then
heaps of
leave.
charity work.
And then if there's any girls or anything around, I'm fucking cleaning them out. I'm getting them out of there, giving him the best.
Get him out.
Because that way, at least afterwards, he can't come calling back to me going like, oh, you know, like a friend came up and they had to leave or whatever. Like I've eliminated all fucking weapons of mass destruction. If he fucks it up, it's purely on him. So
what a good bloke you are.
but I'm noticing a lot of other dudes doing it as well, which is fucking brilliant because everyone's fucking playing. We're all playing chess.
Wow.
And the girls are playing checkers.
See, that's so different for girls because I feel like we would never leave unless like we know the guy. We couldn't leave our friend alone with the guy. We'd always like keep an eye on it.
And here's the tough thing that I think dudes need to remember is that girls aren't always in the situation where they can be literally safe because you leave a girl with a guy somewhere dodgy. I don't have to fucking worry about that, but you have to worry about that. So, like, dudes definitely need to be fucking more conscious of the fact of, like, why chicks need to stick together in a night.
Yeah.
Because the worst could be fucking horrible.
Yeah, and that's really interesting. Like, you know, for example, if we were out and our two best mates were talking, you might be like, "Hey, Connor, let's bring Izzy the fuck away. Let's leave those two alone." Where I'm like, "No, like we have to stay around a bit."
Yeah.
But
that's also dependent on the person.
Which is really So isn't that? It's quite interesting, even this like learning the different perspectives as well. You know, maybe
For sure, but
like,
also, like if ladies listen,
yeah,
I've got you, dude.
Connor's
Blokes are fucking dumb, fucking horny idiots. So
true.
Worst comes to worst, if you want to solo this fucker and like you leave the ladies there, or even if you're at a bar by yourself for some reason, probably don't do that. It's a bit sad. But if you want to have a crack at the fella, honestly, being overt and forward is the best way possible. Like you can eliminate the other dudes pretty fucking quickly with confidence and speaking directly to them. Because dude's going to pick up very quickly that you're not fucking into them. You're into fucking hot stuff over here, sporty spice. So honestly, as immediately as you can get in, have attention towards him. And then anything similar like, should we go get a drink? You don't have to buy him a drink. Should we go get one?
Should we go get a drink?
You've just grabbed him. You've just grabbed him out of the fucking danger zone.
Yeah.
You're one-on-one now. You're sweet. You got the love of your life with you. Get a couple drinks in him and then fucking you're good to go from there. I can't guide you from there, but I got you to the fucking end zone.
So I guess you'd recommend if you're with like a group of girls and to just go up with your pack to the pack of guys. Talk directly to the guy you're interested in, and then the other pack of guys will sort out your friendship group. And you can just be with the guy and his pack of friends will sort out your group and that's done.
For sure. I think
that's great. Great game plan.
Actually, I don't think I can say that. It might sound too piggish. So I'm just going to leave that one there.
Yeah.
Well, like it's something that's always been said. I can butt it out after because I think the saying works for both genders, you know what I mean? Or any gender. Is fucking like diving on the grenades, you know what I mean? So it's like if, let's say you're onto me, you've got your group of friends, they're not really interested in my friends whatsoever. They come through, dive on the grenades so that you can get me. You know what I mean? So it's a team operation. That's how I would go about it. But if you're by yourself, trust me, dude's so fucking easy. If you're just a little bit more confident and like take charge a little bit more, dudes will always follow.
Interesting. This is a great learning experience for us all.
I think so.
And then we had a second point, didn't we?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it was sort of like we were at a party. It was at your fucking party down the coast. And I was talking to one of your friends and she was, obviously, it was because we just did a potty down there. And then she was talking to me and asking to guys, how in depth do guys talk about their like sexual escapades or dating life?
Yeah, or dates because like.
And when I heard the other side, I was fucking terrified.
Really?
Like, dudes, we're fucked. The jig is up. It's all over.
Yeah, I feel like that's such a good topic because, like, for example, like I only know one side of the story. Like, for example, if I go on a date or any of my friends go on a date, call my friend up, tell you what I'm wearing. I'll tell them what we ordered for dinner, how he was, how the conversation was. Did we drive back? Did we go home? Did I get a message the next morning? What does a guy do? Like, do a guy even tell their friends that they're going on a date? Like, what happened?
We'll even go further because when I was talking to your mate, I can say her name, can't I? It's easy for the fucking story.
Yeah,
Remy. So when I was talking to Remy, she was like, we're talking fucking positions. We're talking like the whole kit and caboodle, which it sounds very much true. Did he go down on you? Did he do this? Did he do that? Did you get off? This
happened. This conversation does happen, you know. Yeah,
like the fact of that, like knowledge,
the specificities.
Because that's
do
not
guys not talk about the specificities?
Because that's not what happens. With us.
Really?
That's what I'm getting at.
What the fuck do you mean you don't talk about that
No,
stuff?
so I personally think, and look, I can't speak fucking for everyone with a dick, but I can get pretty close. And what I've found is that the people don't really like flesh it out too much. Oh, no pun intended. But they don't open up too much about it unless something like kind of crazy happened. You know what I mean? Like some of the stories that I've explained on this sort of pod so far, they would be the stories that would usually come up, if at all.
If it's nuts, yeah.
Usually, like, let's say I went on a date with you on the weekend, the boys would probably be like, oh, yeah, how did it go, whatever. Be like, yep, I like her, she's cool. And then be like, oh, yeah, it's nice, do you reckon I'll see her again? Yeah, probably.
So it's that simple.
Pretty fucking much. Where'd you go? Oh, yeah, I went to this dinner place here, it was pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, fucking.
Okay, what if you like, what? Wait. Say you go on a date with a girl and like you really like her, you like almost like potential girlfriend prospect. You have a good date. What's it like to be like, hey, so how was your date with Katie, like a fake name?
Yeah. I would, depends who I'm talking to, obviously. If it's like my best bud,
your
I'll
best
be
male
like,
mate.
I'll be like, yeah, I'll fucking get around it. I don't know, I'll see where it's going to go, but I'm probably going to, it's looking serious.
That's all.
Like, basically, dude. Like, and this isn't just me. A lot of dudes will be like this. Because the thing is, and this is why this podcast is good, because it opens up more talk. But to be fair, like, boys can very quickly go to that, like, nothing sort of conversation of like, yeah, did you get with her? Did you fuck her? Or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, then after that, it doesn't leave you much room for like, they're not like, so how are the entrees? like just no, no one really asks about that. Because I don't really want to fucking imagine my mate getting blown. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear about it. Like, girls are very much like able to talk about all that sort of stuff. But once you really get into the nitty gritty of it, there's a lot of dudes that I don't really want to fucking hear about it.
That's so shocking. So
I just wanted to chunder in my mouth.
For example, like if I go on a date and it's like really good and I'm like, whoa, like impressed with this guy, I'm like telling my friends, I'm like, wow, like he's such a good conversationalist. Everything. He opened the door for me. And you know what else he did? He like tipped the waiter. Like I'm saying every detail of the night that like in my head I'm doing checklists. And then as well, if it's a really shit date and he was rude to a waiter and, you know, was rude to the Uber driver, I'm bringing this all up. I'm like, yeah, he did this and he left an old cigarette butt in the Uber and like I'm literally listing every detail of, because it goes back to what we've said in an earlier reason. It's like I was listening to our post-nut clarity episode and we were talking about like, a guy will just never see a girl again or like leave her on red just because like, you know, like he's not into her anymore, where a girl will know the exact reasons why she will never see a guy again. In their head, they're building a list. It'll literally be like, the guy was rude, the guy was this, the guy was that. Like, we're constantly evaluating someone.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that leads me to believe what is better. Do you know what I mean? Like, is building the list up too much to where you're fucking analysing every little bit and giving your friends all the info for them to give their opinion into your brain could easily change the opinion of that guy if they don't get around like certain things that he did, like the whole ick thing. Like if you said to a girl like, oh yeah, I saw him, but he fucking tripped up the gutter or whatever, and someone's like, oh, yuck. Like, you know, like, can you be changed by your friend's opinion when giving too many details?
I think that depends on, like, your friends. Like, obviously, like, well, I've been friends with a few girls who have been so ridiculously picky and honestly probably will never find love because they would, you know, get tripped up because someone caught, like, a bus and you go kart to get to the date or something. And they're like, ew, ick. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. And then, like, you have other girls who are a bit more chill and be like, oh no, that's fine. Who cares? Like,
Yeah,
I think it just depends on having like good mates who give honest opinions. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
But of course, like
I think dudes
yeah.
definitely need. I would say this from a guy's perspective. What needs to happen more of is I'm fine with the minimal fucking sex chat. To be fair, because as I said before, there's details.
Yeah.
Leave at the fucking door when it comes to me. But
Wow.
but the one thing that I would like guys to do more, and what I try to get out of my mates a bit more, is like, do you actually like her? Like, what is it that you
Yeah.
like about her? Do you not like her? You know what I mean? Like, how do you
Yeah.
actually feel about her? Because I feel like so many dudes have grown up with the social, like, surroundings of, like, oh, I like her, and it's like, oh, you fucking bitch, like this, that, or what, you know what I mean? Because it's obviously just
Yeah.
young dudes, like, and more often than not, that's because they're insecure about their
Yeah.
whole fucking shit. So when they're talking to fucking blokes, they'll tend to put them down for opening up. But I feel like that is changing more and more.
So,
But I think that
yeah.
that would be better for dudes to be honest about if they're like emotionally involved in the girl or not.
It's such a complex issue because even like now, like I'm kind of thinking about because like if I go on a date with a guy and like I said, I'm telling every detail about the intimate experiences, and it just like flings to my head. I don't read any of these books, but like the 50 Shades of Grey books, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's been commonly told that females may often read very like erotic novels
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
love
yeah.
the details and the
Yeah.
story and the love of it. And I feel like the only guy version of that is like porn probably, and they don't really have
But that's also
the
the
details.
worst
And it's
fucking
probably
like.
why where it's like, girls love details, where it's just like guys don't have the details and like they're just like so stripped off from any like emotional connection, a physical connection. It's like guys can't feel anything.
Just the connection. And we can't blanket statement guys because like dudes
Yeah.
obviously are different, especially in relationships.
so
It's very different. But like I know exactly what you're saying because there is such a lack of connection
Yeah.
with all of it, especially with porn, all that. I've obviously got a lot of girlfriends and they fucking like not ex like as in friends girls, and they tell me all the time about how when having sex sometimes it's like they're just sticking it in and out, they're not doing anything else. And but like
Yeah.
no dirty talk, nothing else, you know what I mean? But like girls are so intuitive to the details.
Yeah. Well, literally, but that's why, like, if a guy is so much more intuitive to the details,
Ooh.
that is where, like, you'll be the talk of the town at brunch tomorrow morning. Like, do you
Yes.
know what I mean? Like, if that happens, that's when the girls get around the brekkie table and they're like, holy shit.
Yes, and so this I reckon is the advice
This
to
is the
fellas because
advice
this
to
is what we didn't we didn't know that they knew.
This
So
is, yeah, this,
instead of being the shit route and the shit date and all that, remember the list. The list is happening.
the list
It's
is happening as it's
ticks
going.
and crosses. And do you want to be the cunt on Sunday morning with an eggs Benedict in front of the fucking hungover bird going, he's a shit root, he's a rude cunt, and I don't want to ever see him again. Because fucking, I'll tell you what, guys, ladies fucking talk and it'll
Oh,
come back to haunt you.
I'm not gonna lie. I went out last night, had a big night, and I had eggs Benny today with Remy today, and I was
Yep.
having that exact chat with her today. So I'm telling you, straight from experience a few hours ago, it happened, and like. So what we can learn, if you are a girl, this gives you less pressure now because now guys don't really give a fuck.
No, as long as
Like-
you're not as long as you don't do anything like
As long as you don't
outstanding.
do something weird, guys don't give a fuck, which is like, it's kind of like less pressure, but it's also like, well, why the fuck am I trying so hard to be like nice?
Well, no,
or
it's
a
not that the
good
guy
route?
doesn't have the feelings, it's just expressing them to other blokes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of the time the guy does like her and they do want to be with her or whatever the fuck. They're just too
Yeah.
scared to say it to a pack of dudes.
Yeah.
So like he does feel it, but also you're not going to be the talk of the town most likely unless you do
Yeah.
something fucking heinous.
Yeah, true.
Then they'll talk.
But I feel like, yeah, exactly. But then it's also like less pressure if you like, are a bit
Yeah,
weird.
exactly. There is less
But
pressure.
yeah,
Trust
like a
me,
bit
they're
less
not
pressure.
they're not talking about what high heels you're wearing
Wow,
or the
there you
fucking
go.
coat or the dress or it
Where
doesn't
guys
matter.
are,
Yeah.
where girls are. But I guess this conversation has then realized that there's a lot more pressure for guys. But do guys even give a shit? Because now guys can now hear this piece of advice, take advantage of it, and make sure that they really perform in certain aspects because now they know that girls are literally talking about every single detail.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Oh, you don't want to be a fucking bad root.
How does this change you now? Like, how does this information change how you might approach your next date?
Well, to be fair, I'm not going to lie to you. As I said before, all my fucking mates are chicks. So I've fucking known this for a
You've
minute.
known this for a while.
You guys tell me all the fucking disgusting shit. So I'm very fucking aware of how quickly my reputation can be twisted and maneuvered. But look, don't get me wrong. There's still definitely brekkies that are going around talking about how shit I am. But what can you do? You pick it up and you move on.
Exactly.
So a little fucked up story that I've been banking for a while. And it was originally because we were going to be talking about somebody else, bringing it to the fucking mix. She's not available, is she? No, that's all good. But it's, some people like to do it recreationally. I didn't. And it's called the golden shower.
Stop.
Yes. And for those that don't know what a golden shower is, it is where somebody voluntarily pisses on you and that's what gets you off.
Fuck off.
Look, I didn't fucking I was a victim.
What?
I was a victim. I wasn't the fucking.
Is this recent?
This was like maybe like 3-4 years ago.
Oh, I haven't heard this.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So basically, Friday's D floor where all magic happens.
Always.
I met some girl. We were both extremely fucking drunk and yarning away, dancing along, little cheeky neck on the D floor. Next thing you know, we're heading back to the crib. And I should have realized from the get-go that we were both fucking so drunk. Like, it was just like, even mainly me. Like, I was fucking plastered.
Yeah.
Anyway, go back to mine, necking on, the whole thing's happening, stripping off, getting down to the business, if you will. She's on top of me, and I'd say within about 20 seconds, I'm going, because I'm in the dark. I'm like, it's full black. I need night vision goggles. Like, it's in the black. And so all I can just feel is just like spraying, like on me, spraying on me.
What position are you in right now? Like,
she's on top. I'm on bottom. I'm on my back. It's just normal fucking.
And there's a fluid coming
spraying up on me.
Spraying
up all over me, and
so
I'm going. And so I had to do the quick drunk calculations in my head, and I was like, "Oh shit, do we have a squirter here?" Because then I was like, there's no fucking way I've made this girl orgasm in 15 seconds with my limp fucking whiskey dick. There's no way this is possible. So then I've immediately realized she's pissing on me. And just, if you're wondering about the spraying, I'm inside her. So she's pissing, and it's like if you're putting your thumb over the tap or something. So it's just got like, you know when you put your finger in the hose, if you want to get that sprinkler action on the lawn.
Was her finger on the tap or was yours?
No, she's just living life. She's having a great time. Meanwhile, I'm getting like, I don't want to be too graphic, but it's just gone too graphic. I'm talking about getting pissed on. But yeah, if you can imagine, it's the best way to explain it is like when you're gardening in the back and the hose isn't doing enough, so you stick the thumb on and it starts going fucking ham sangers. So this is just going all over me, just fucking drenched. And I've realised now that it's piss. So then I get up and I'm like, okay, this is fucked. Turn the lights on. Holy moly. It was a fucking crime scene. I'm drenched in piss. So was my bed. And she's covered in it as well.
Like it smelled like piss?
Nah, because what I've learned is that when you're that drunk, it's water at that point. It's just, it's flying away.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Go clean myself up. I'm like, look, I don't think this is the best option to continue after this. I'm not exactly as aroused as I once was. And so I'm like, and this is what I mean. Like sometimes you can pick up some fucking crazy people when you're out and about. I wouldn't recommend it at that time. Nothing ever good happens. But anyway, I fucking go off into the living room there. And it was like the first share house I was living in. Yeah. So I go into the living room. I'm like, I'm sleeping on the couch, sleep in the bed. She passed out pretty fucking quick. And then wake up in the morning, stung ass. And the boys, my two roommates, they've woken up. They didn't go out. And they're looking at me like, oh, what the fuck? And then they're like, someone in there, like pointing to my door or whatever. And I'm like, yes. And they're like all like giggling. We're all giggling like girls at this point. And then like we walk over to the door, open up the door, peek in. There is a naked girl on my bed, I had like one of those hanger, like I didn't have like a proper wardrobe. I had like that all over the ground, TV on the floor,
What?
fucking mattress flipped. What I think has happened, like if I had to like be the mentalist and like the TV's there, this is there, and like map out the crime, I reckon she's woken up like half an hour and 2 hours later, gone, where the fuck am I? And she would have been in the dark. Because I was in the living room because I just wanted to leave her alone so she didn't wig out or anything. And then she's woken up and I just started grabbing shit and just trashed my room and then given up. Couldn't find the door, I guess, and then just passed out back on the couch, on the bed. And then I had to drop her home.
That is okay. There is so much to unpack there. First of all, I fucking love how like you realized she wasn't squirting and it was pissed because of like your shit performance so far.
It was like 15 seconds.
You were
My
like 15
dick
seconds.
was
My
like
cock is
fucking.
not capable of that crap. It is piss.
Like you've seen like Harry Potter where he breaks his arm in the thing and it's like all fucking, they make him eat slugs to get it back. That's what was happening.
Oh, and then fucking hell, like the torture of your room.
Oh yeah, there's nothing worse than getting pissed on and then waking up the next, not even
Some
getting the
cracky,
root,
like-
and then waking up the next day and your room's been fucking turned
And that's
upside
like
down.
the truth. Like you think some people are like normal, and then you bring it back, and then they're fucking not.
Well, the other Fridays chick that I've mentioned was the Conor McGregor. She beat the fuck out of me.
Maybe you should stop going to Fridays, darling.
100%. But I don't learn my own lessons.
That's fuck. I have this shitty.
So basically, what a better question is, because I've only recently sort of found this out. Apparently, squirting is just piss anyway.
Is that?
Can we fact check this?
Can we? I'm sorry, you said that.
You're
and
the
then
one
I
with the
was like,
vagina. You should be fucking telling me.
I have googled it before. I'm pretty sure it's like a bodily fluid, obviously, but I don't.
I'm pretty sure it's
I
almost
think it's
just
a
fucking
different hose,
piss.
darling. I think no is.
Is squirting pissing.
This is the content we need. Conclusions. Okay. The present data based on ultrasonographic bladder monitoring and biochemical analysis
Fuck yeah.
indicates that squirting is essentially the involuntary emission of urine during sexual activity, although a marginal contribution of prostatic secretions to the emitted fluid.
Prostate, it's a bit pooey. Hectic. So I know more about chicks than you do. Fucking, how good.
No, I'm not sold. I'm gonna go on I need a second.
Yeah, you can check one more. But nonetheless, like it's pretty fucking close to piss.
What?
See, that's what's weird, because like I feel like this has always been like a fantasy of a guy, even maybe a girl, that like you get to the point of fucking squirting. But in reality, I guess every girl can fucking just whip it out when they want, just to fucking get the dude getting around himself, just piss on him.
I have heard that like you shouldn't piss before if you.
Yeah, you get
want to do
UTI.
that. No. Like you shouldn't piss if you want to squirt because like you're getting rid of fluids and like you should drink heaps of water beforehand. So I guess it is piss.
It's piss. Yeah. How weird, you know what I mean? Because it's like always this thing that like guys, I guess, have it synonymous with like an orgasm, I suppose. But in reality, they're just getting fucking pissed on.
Okay. Well, you want to know another random fact, which I know.
Yeah.
Apparently,
fucking feed 'em to me.
apparently, when girls have like a full bladder and they need to actually pee, they get turned on.
Oh, really? Because it's like pressing
It's
all
like
the buttons.
pressing down there. And I heard this fact years ago, and literally it's just one of those random facts I've always remembered because it's like true. Like every time I need to piss, I'm like, yep, I feel that pressing there. I need to go pee quickly. But isn't that so random? So I think like they are aligned. Obviously, it's the same area. So peeing and orgasms are very much aligned.
Yeah.
There you go. Is that the same with guys? Like, if you really need to pee, is anything
No,
happening there?
fuck no, not at all.
No?
Yeah, all I'm thinking is I need to pee. One thing that I've also just been thinking about girls lately, it's not really dating related, but
Yeah.
fuck me, I feel bad for you guys, is I realized the other day, like, I piss when I need to piss. Like, there's no thinking about it or anything. But I was in a club the other night, and I've seen this many a time, but the lineup
Bruh.
is like 40 fucking chicks long.
Bruh.
If I was holding it, I'd be pissing myself every night. I don't know how you guys do it.
Oh, it is the most fucked thing. Literally, like, I've done so many bush squats, darling.
Yeah.
I am like a
I'm all for the
serial
squatter.
bush squat. Like, yeah, countless times. And I feel like some girls just get cheeky with it. People just quickly run into the guy's bathroom. But you have to be careful because if you go to the guy's bathroom, you can get like banned from the club sometime.
Yeah.
But I've had mates who have like done a squat piece in the middle of a mosh pit. Like just popped it.
And look, to be honest with you, I say
Yeah.
all's fair in love and warfare. Just get out there and
got
piss
to.
where you need to piss. Because fuck me, I piss my pants
Yeah.
more than the average bear. You know what I mean? I piss my bed many a time.
It happens.
Yeah, fuck. But one thing I will say is because I feel like so many people have different variations of these fucking stories. If you have a cracker, and I'm going to just go with any bodily fluid stories during fucking hanky panky. I want to hear about it. The grosser, the fucking better.
I have a really funny one I wanted to talk about quickly because I wanted to get. I've had like so many people like message me like really funny sex stories, but they're too scared to kind of come on the podcast. And we will do all the funny sex stories anonymously.
Yeah.
But she had a really funny one about this guy, and they were doing the hanky panky, and he starts using water as lube.
Oh, fucking
like this
Gumby.
cunt is literally like getting a water bottle and like putting it over them as like lube.
Sweetie.
And the chick was like, what the fuck? And then the bed was just wet. And I was like, that is just the dumbest thing. You're better off drinking the water.
Was he a fucking virgin?
That's what I said. Dude, Donna, that was my fucking reaction. I was like, is this guy a virgin? And then she's like, no, like he gets around heaps.
Yeah,
And
hectic.
I was like, that is probably the dumbest, like most virgin thing I've ever heard of. Like,
yeah, because
water.
like, little insight, growing up, dudes get creative when they start wanking. Like, you just don't know what's on offer. You know what I mean? Like, I've got some fucking cracker wanking stories growing up.
What do you mean, like mayo or like?
Like, you'd be surprised. Like, dudes fucking grapefruits, the whole kit and caboodle. Like, we.
What? I did not know this was a thing.
Yeah. Oath. Like, I know. Like, I almost like want to save it for a whole segment and get a bunch of stories, but like I can tee us off and we can see if it reoccurs because I think we can always have a reoccurring wank story.
Because obviously, like, the common one for girls' wank stories, you know, the typical cucumber and the zucchini.
Yes.
I didn't know guys did this stuff.
Yes, for sure. Because you got to think like fucking hornbags growing up, and like it's not as readily accessible as a fucking, you know what I mean? You can't just go down and buy a fucking fleshlight or something. And then I guess people, because they're so fucking horny growing up, you get a bit fucking sick of old righty. So you're like, oh, I guess we're gonna mix it up and go fucking find some shit. I know dudes that have fucked couches. There was actually.
Isn't it in a movie like someone?
I can tell. I can tell the story. I can tell
yeah.
the story. It's hectically anonymous.
Okay.
From school days, there was a bloke that got caught by his mum fucking a cheesecake.
Stop. No, stop it.
Full American Pie style on the counter and fucked a cheesecake.
Wait, in the family kitchen?
Yes. I don't know if it was in the kitchen, but he got walked in on by his mum fucking a cheesecake.
No.
And this guy, I didn't know this guy like well enough to like have the fucking in depths of like what was happening, but it's 100% it happened.
Okay, I want to know about this cheesecake because like I feel like.
Well, I don't know how much I can tell you other than that he's fucked a cheesecake.
Well, like I just want to know like it's not common for like a family to have a cheesecake in the kitchen. I don't know, like it's usually for like someone's birthday, an anniversary. Like is this like a type of cheesecake that like is it for someone's birthday or you have no idea? Like you
no, it was like midweek. Like I remember because we were at school and then we obviously found out and it was just like baffling to everyone that because like obviously there's like little like you got your things like your cucumber or whatever. I don't know what dude's doing, but like I'd say like fucking a grapefruit is pretty fucking chill compared to a cheesecake.
Because like that's the thing.
So
I feel
messy. It's so messy.
It's so messy. You wouldn't even be able to tell the difference between like
you have to throw out the
bodily
cheesecake.
fluid and the cheese. What about dick cheese?
Bit of extra icing.
Dick cheese. Cheesecake. Oh no, but the thing is, I feel like when you're a parent, like you look high chance you might walk in on your teenage son playing with himself. You know, like I think being a parent you might have to deal with that. You might have to deal with maybe hearing, you know, your little teenage kids are rude and their boyfriend. You know, that's just what happens. But like fucking walking in on your son rooting a cheesecake like you would be questioning your whole fucking parenting
Oh,
style.
completely.
You would send that kid to therapy.
I'm sending him
like,
to fucking military school.
yeah,
Like,
you'd be like, I've fucked up here.
yeah, 100%. There was another one as well. I remember. I also found this fucking hilarious because it's funny because the ones that I know have been outed by mums, and this one in particular. The funny thing I find about this one is I feel like girls would normally do this because it's like
Yeah.
the vibration, but he was like, like grinding up against the washing machine,
Stop.
like dick out, like fucking gyrating on the machine to get himself like going off, I guess. And the mum walked in, and get this is like the worst. This is the worst by anything. So the cheesecake thing, I think, came from his mouth. Like he said, like, okay, I got caught fucking a cheesecake. Obviously,
So this is the same guy.
No. He's not just a fucking feral wanker. No, this is another person. But the
Okay.
funny one about this, so the mum walks in on him grinding up against the washing machine. Like, I know these people. Like, walked out on the washing machine sitch.
Yeah.
And then she went to, like, a mum's lunch. And she had a few too many champers with the ladies. Told the ladies. Ladies tell the sons. Once boys fucking know what they know, spreads like fucking wildfire. And so he came to school or some shit. And that's why I feel bad.
And so that's how everyone found
But that
out
one,
about the washing machine.
but the washing machine was actually, I only found that out like last year.
I think
Like he
it's
kept that
just different.
cheesecake was above the radar. Washing machine, he got away. I think the cheesecake like was new, so the washing
Yeah.
machine was old shit.
The thing is, I think it's awkward. Obviously, like a parent like walking in on you is fucked, but like
Doing something scat.
doing that scat with like a
Because
cheesecake
every mum
washing
knows,
machine.
like every mum knows their son's wanking
Yeah.
because who does the washing?
I'm not gonna
who
lie.
does the washing?
Dude,
Izzy?
no, literally, no. I'm not
The
gonna lie.
towel's glass.
No, every time I walk into my brother's room, or like would walk into my brother's room, I would always knock.
Yeah, you have to know.
I would always like wait a bit because like that's what you would do, and I feel like parents would do the same to like their teenage children. They're like, hello, but like that shit's fucked.
Yeah, so bad.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, well, I reckon next week I want people getting. I want piss stories, I want bodily fluid stories, and I also want sketchy wanking and flicking the bean stories. There's definitely girls that have been caught doing some
There'd be
crazy
so
shit.
many yeah.
Yeah, it has to be, or even just roommates
There-
or whatever. Because
Yeah.
and this is the last thing, we're finishing after this, but one thing that like I realized that I didn't at the time was when I had my first girlfriend, obviously rooting like rabbits,
Mm.
and then I thought we're fucking chilling, you know what I mean? No
Yeah.
one knows shit, we're upstairs, whatever, until my brother and sister were older and they got girlfriends and stuff. You can hear it through the fucking floorboards. So every time I had my girlfriend over, the family's sitting down watching 60 Minutes or some shit, and all they're hearing is fucking their baby boy thrusting away.
Fuck, you have to be so careful. Oh.
Shit can get dicey out there, but fuck, shit happens.
Shit happens.
Shit does happen. And with that, Izzy, we're out of here, I reckon.
We're out of here.
Please like, subscribe, jump on all things Hotline Fling. Everything's been fucking awesome so far, so just keep supporting us if you can. Fucking see you next week, baby boys and girls.
See you. Have fun with your fucking cheesecakes. Bye.
Don't fuck any cheesecakes. Or do.